Welcome to the driver's seat. You are looking at the 2024 Lexus GX550. This is the Overtrail edition. You have 3 trim levels: Premium and Premium Plus. That's the base model. Luxury, Luxury Plus. That's if you want to go luxury on this vehicle. But if you want to go off-roading, Lexus has finally given us a trim level that basically resembles what the used GX market does, which is lift their vehicles and take them off-roading. This is the Overtrail. First time they've ever had an Overtrail edition. There's also an Overtrail Plus. So everything about this vehicle is, especially this trim level, is designed for off-roading. Angle of approach, over 25 degrees, it's perfect. The headlights, they move them way up high. That's if you're going through snow or maybe some kind of stream and you still want to be able to see at night. The headlights are not going to be covered up, so they're not going to be down here. Put them in the highest point possible. They did the same with the taillights, so the people behind you, so it's not just about seeing, it's about being seen as well. I love what they've done. This is the best looking version of the spindle grille, something that has really kind of been problematic for Lexus in the last 10 years, but they're getting better and better at kind of hiding it. I think it's very well integrated. So under the hood, we have a very unique engine. It's a 3.4 liter twin turbo V6. I've never heard of a 3.4 liter, especially for a Lexus. They've had 3.3, they've had 3.5s, but I guess this is somewhere in the middle. You have 349 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque, and it's made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. From a design standpoint, I think Lexus nailed it. You have a very chiseled look. You can see this high belt line throughout the vehicle. It kind of starts in the rear and works its way up to the front. I call these corners here the pontoons. They're raised up. It's really handy when you're off-roading so you can see the corners of the vehicle. Of course, you've got all sorts of technology, camera technology inside to help you off-roading. Take a look at this windshield. You know, you look at the previous GX, it was raked back, much sharper angle. You could see it's a smaller, shallower windshield. You could see the wipers, how much smaller they are. But I like this look. This is an aggressive look. You know, Lexus says BMW and Mercedes and Land Rover are competitors, but to me, think of this as a very reliable Defender 110. Defender 110 is a wonderful vehicle. It's not body on frame, and it's not a Toyota. I think Lexus really nailed this GX, and you know, the proof is going to be in sales, and clearly enough consumers have already put down their deposits. This is definitely going to be a home run for them, as will the new Land Cruiser for Toyota. This is what the GX should have always been, and I imagine we're going to say the same about the Land Cruiser when we drive that. The paddle shifters come in handy on roads like this. It's a good transmission, but I think there's something wrong with this particular one. As mentioned earlier, we've experienced quite a few events where it slipped, but it is pre-production. There is an option for a third row with the GX, but the one we have here just has the 2 rows, so seating for 5. I can't imagine that third row. There isn't that much space back there, but I'm sure that was necessary for them in order to continue what the GX has always been to the brand, which is a 3-row SUV. Good visibility. You don't have any major blind spots with this GX. It's really a game changer, I think, for the brand. And even though in their presentation they tell us BMW and Mercedes and the Defender 110 are direct competitors, I think the Defender 110 is really the only true competitor. And the big difference is going to be really what the brand has always stood for, which is QRD, quality, reliability, and dependability, things that you just don't get in a Land Rover, but you will get in this GX550 Overtrail. The default driving mode for the GX is normal, and it's it's a pretty soft ride. So we're in Sport Plus now because of these canyon roads, and it behaves much better. Lexus tells us this chassis is about 20% stiffer than the outgoing GX. Still a proper body on frame, which is a key differentiator from the closest competitor, which is the Defender 110. Essentially, it's on the shared Tacoma platform. These roads give us a nice opportunity to see how this vehicle handles. Again, it's not necessarily a sports car by any means, but if you do find yourself on roads like this, it's nice to know that this vehicle can handle it. Now, this is a pre-production vehicle. We've experienced some slipping in the transmission. Again, we're going to give Lexus the benefit of the doubt that it is a pre-production vehicle. The engine choice is very interesting. The 3.4 liter twin turbo V6. I can't recall a 3.4 liter in another Toyota or Lexus product ever. Furthermore, it's hard to even remember any other brand that had a 3.4. I'm sure there is, but just very interesting choice of engines. But it has plenty of power, plenty of torque, and at these higher elevations, the turbos are ideal. I really like the hood on this GX. I call these fenders kind of the pontoons, and those are really ideal when you're off-roading because you can really see clearly where the edges are. Now, there are plenty of cameras to assist drivers during off-road, so you don't need a spotter. You can just rely on these cameras, and they're really getting more and more sophisticated. As you can see, it's relatively quiet, which is what I would have expected from any Lexus product. They tend to do a good job of insulating their vehicles. This vehicle is much narrower than the outgoing model, especially the interior, but it's a good size. When you are going off-roading, you don't want a big wide vehicle, something like a Chevy Tahoe or a Tundra. You really want something narrower. You'll save your paint quite a bit. It definitely has some body roll, but that's because this vehicle was not designed for these roads. It's really designed for off-roading. It'll be curious to see who actually ends up buying these. We're told from Lexus that the entire first delivery has been sold out for weeks. So clearly, the styling is resonating with a lot of consumers. And I think Toyota just got tired of seeing used GXs lifted and rooftop tents and said, wait a minute, are we building a luxury SUV or are we going to build an off-road vehicle? And I'm happy to say that this Overtrail is a right out of the box ready off-road vehicle. It's refreshing to see a Lexus, which is a brand that has really struggled with design, especially in recent years with the spindle grille, to have product that is exciting and really kind of breaks the styling mode of previous Toyota and Lexus product. But they are really getting aggressive, and yes, you could still get a Camry and or a RAV4, but even those vehicles are looking better. But this, to me, is one of the best looking Lexus vehicles I've ever seen. One thing I didn't mention is the towing capacity. So the premium and the Overtrail we're driving can tow over 9,000 pounds. The luxury only about 6,500. So just keep that in mind. So much of what Lexus did makes sense for off-roaders, but when you paint your door handles this glossy piano black, that's not a good idea, because when you go buy some brush, these are going to get all scraped up. So just keep that in mind. 33-inch wheels. So one of the easiest ways to distinguish this Overtrail from the premium and the luxury: wheel size. 18-inch wheels, that's what the Overtrail gets. 20-inch for the premium, the luxury 22-inch wheels. And let's go back here. So no more split liftgate like the old Land Cruisers, which is something I really love. But what you do have is this separate glass access door, and obviously it's a Lexus, so you're going to have an automatic liftgate. The Overtrail has 2 rows, seating for 5. The premium and luxury, 3 rows, seating for 7. So those are some of the distinctions. If you can afford it, go for the Overtrail. So price as tested, just over $80,000. An amazing truck. GX has been around for over 20 years, but Toyota is finally building the new GX the way the old ones are being used. I'm Ron Doran. Thanks for watching. See you next time on The Driver's Seat.